happens is you have to look at these things like in a wider context. Okay? Now, we want to talk about how structures change. Okay? And apparently structures change, or they operate at every level of our social world. The micro, meso, and the macro. Okay? Now, again, we have to understand this in its broader context. Okay? Now, what happens is that when we look at structures, Weber identified, said that these things are changed very much by human action. And he says that there are three ways that human beings act around a structure. One is motivated by custom. Okay? Now, when you have a structure and you say that something is motivated by custom, what do you think we're talking about when we say, oh yes, we do this because the structure of X organization, X family, X country is motivated by custom. What do we mean when we use the word custom? What is custom? Take a guess.
When things are done the same way over time.
And what do we call that? Custom or tradition. Okay? But very often we will know that we do things because it's traditional. Okay? For no other reason. That's the way things are done. So the answer is it's traditional. So what happens is that I finally found an answer to the kids when they start talking about why. You just tell them it's traditional. Okay? That's why we do it. That's why you have to brush your teeth. No other reason, okay? But since it's tradition and it's custom, that's why you do it. Now, they're not going to have a clue what you're talking about. Okay? But it's a good answer. Okay? But now notice that we do things like that because we say things have always been done that way. Does that make it right? No. Okay? All we know is that's the way things are done. Now, that's number one. Okay? Now, the second thing that makes people change or get involved in changing structure is what they call effective action. Okay? Now, they said that sometimes what happens is that people go around and they just do things because they're emotionally involved in something. Like how we cheer at a ball game. Or as they say, since they like these sports analogies, how at the end of a game, if we win a championship game, everybody runs in and they start tearing down goalposts or tearing down nets or whatever, okay? Because they call that effective action, okay? And the other thing that we do is we talk about rational action, okay? And rational action is motivated by calculations of efficiency. Now, remember a long time ago what we did is when we talked about one of the things that happened is that we used to have people who got into positions of power because of, I don't want to say genetics, because they were born into positions of power. Okay? And now we've moved to the point that when we got here, we started saying that we had to use a better way to pick our leaders. So we started using, I guess, what we might call rational thinking, and saying it is better for us to elect the leaders than to not. Okay? So because we don't want a king or a queen, we don't want any of those folks. What we want is a person that we can rationally say, this is the person here, and we give this person power. Okay? Now, Now, in most instances, when you see human actions, it's probably a motivation of those three things: tradition, effective behavior, and rationalization. Okay? Now, even rationalization can be carried to the nth degree. There's a certain point, and this is something I thought a long time ago when I was very young. But there's a certain point at which logic becomes absurd. Okay? If you follow all logical thought to the very end, you reach absurdity. That's what I think. Okay? And what happens is that we talk about rational actions, and then they talked about something like McDonaldization. Okay? What is that? What do you think they mean when they say that? Now let's look at McDonald's. Okay? What does McDonald's try to do? What is the purpose of going to McDonald's, and what do they do with they're trying to make money, and they have some employees, and you know all the things that they say about McDonald's, and you can substitute Burger King or Wendy's or whatever. Okay? What is it that happens at McDonald's that is so important? Think about it. Why do you go to McDonald's? Okay, first they say convenience. Okay? There was another comment that I didn't hear. It's supposed to be it's fast food.
It's family oriented.
It's family oriented. Well, now what is it that McDonald's do? Say you worked at McDonald's. What do you do if you're a cashier? What do they do?
You walk in, you punch in, and then they give you money, and then you wait for someone to order something.
And when they order something, what do you do?
Punch into the computer.
What do you punch into the computer?
Yeah, sandwich.
Now I say this, but now look at the difference and what I'm trying to get to.
It's supposed to be different, but everybody do the same thing.
Well, it's not that, but look at their computers. If the news says this person wants a milkshake, what do the cashier do? They look on the keyboard and they see a picture of a milkshake and they push milkshake button.
Yes.
Sometimes they put a code.
Everything has a code.
Everything has a code.
Well, everything has a code, but that's true about all of our things. Even when you go to a supermarket, everything is coded. But that code, in most cases, they're not going to say the code for milkshake is 753, because you're not going to push 753. You're going to push a milkshake icon.
Basic, it doesn't require.
It takes no, you don't have to learn it. All you have to do is know what a hamburger looks like. And it's a hamburger on the well, you there. Okay? There's a hamburger on the keyboard and you push hamburger. And then if it says with tomatoes, you put tomatoes. That's what you do. Okay? And what else does it do? You look at your machines and it says, okay, now what we want you to do is how much is the bill? And when you get finished, you say, ping, and they'll give you the money. Okay, you say, well, your bill is so and so and so and so. Now notice, you didn't count it up. The machine counted it up. Okay? And then somebody brings you, say your bill is $3.89, and somebody gives you $5. Now, what do? You don't say you're supposed to get back $1.11 change, because half the people can't count that far. Now, you laugh. I'm very serious. Okay? And so what happens is you then put in 5, and the machine says, give them back $1.11. And this is what they mean when they say McDonaldization, okay? Because everything is operating like that. And you think I'm kidding, but if you go to the elementary schools, I tell you, the kids don't know what 7 times 9 is. Guarantee you they don't know it. And they could be in the 10th grade in good shape. Okay? Because they get all of their answers off of a computer. Now they know how to compute that on a computer, but they couldn't do it in their head. Okay? Now, so that's number one. Now, what happens? What was the purpose of the fast food? First of all, it said convenience. What does convenience mean?
So, make people lazy?
It makes it easy. I'm listening.
So the easier food to get to.
And they call it fast food, right?
Easy.
Now, is it really convenient and fast?
No.
I don't think so.
So,
You can go to McDonald's and you can wait in line for 10 minutes to get served. Am I right?
Yes.
Is that what you call fast food?
it's faster than restaurants.
It's faster than what?
Restaurants, supermarkets, and everything that you're
Well,
buying.
that's a matter of opinion. Because I would almost bet you, stay with me, that if you went to the Chinese restaurant next door, you'd get your food in 5 minutes.
That's
It would
right.
take 15 minutes to get it in McDonald's.
That's true.
And they cook it almost from scratch.
But you'll be hungry in 10 minutes.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. Okay, now you going to tell me that McDonald's food fills you up? Okay,
It's
I
junk
can do about
food.
that.
That's true.
I'm not going to say it's junk food, and I'm not even going to say it's cheap.
Cheap.
They with me.
It's not cheap.
They with me. No.
Order off the dollar menu.
I remember one time I was in Newark, and this person was on the street, and she was hungry. And I said, well, okay, look, I'm willing to treat you to breakfast over at such and such a place. I said, I'll treat you to breakfast over at such and such a place. Because they had 2 eggs, toast, potatoes, and no sausage and some for $1.49 breakfast special. You know what she told me? I don't want to eat over there. I want to eat at McDonald's. I said, you know what you do? You go to McDonald's because I'm not going.
That's
okay?
right.
Now, I know that those stores are cheaper than McDonald's. And if
I
you
do
don't think
something.
so, when you go to McDonald's, you take your 2 people with you, and when your bill comes out to be $15,
I'm telling you.
okay,
Depends on what you eat.
well, it's always.
Why you said it?
It's $200 birthdays.
Okay?
Is it there?
But I'm saying that if you go in and you buy the average thing with 2 or 3 people, you take 2 kids, and by the time they charge you $2 for a milkshake that has nothing, $2 for this, $2 for the soda, you could
Well,
spend
that's-
$15. Plus, you could have fed your whole family for that amount of money. A meal. Okay? But that's the society. But the point that the book is trying to make is that one, you know that they say 3 things. One, they say there are 4 dimensions of McDonaldization. One is efficiency. That is seeking the best possible method for completing a task. Okay? One of them is that it's easier to push an icon than it is to sit down there and let people punch in all these other things. That's one. 2 is calculability. That is emphasizing the quantitative aspects of products and services. For instance, the more you get, the better it is. Okay? And you notice that every time they start talking about something, it's more or it's new and improved. You know, I saw something else. I heard the radio the other day. You know the person that makes that, was that 5-hour energy drink?
What you said?
So the person has become a billionaire, okay? And so somebody they said, now first of all, they won't tell you what's in the drink that's supposed to be so good, okay? But he said, when he was first marketing it, this person was talking to, well, I asked the person who was marketing it, why it tastes so bad? Okay, I guess for American taste. He said, because if people are buying it for purposes of doing better, okay, taste doesn't matter. Okay, that was excuse number one. Excuse number two was he said, well, why does it cost so much? It costs $2 more can and everything else. He said, well, yes, I have to put a premium price on it because the people won't think it's nothing if I don't put a premium price. Premium product at premium price. And you know what I said? I said to myself, you know, that makes perfect sense. Why? Because Starbucks coffee doesn't taste like anybody else's coffee. It's too good to many people. But you go to Starbucks, but they pay a premium price. And therefore, you think the coffee is 5 times better. Trust me, that if you can buy $1 cup of coffee at store X and you go to Starbucks and pay $3 for the same size cup of coffee, it is not 3 times as good. Okay? But there are people who swear by Starbucks. Okay? You buy a scone. I went to Starbucks one time, and all we did was have a coffee, and I guess what you call a scone, like a little biscuit. Like the English biscuit is very hard, with a little bit of anise or something in it. That was $8 for it. Okay? People go to Starbucks every day. And that place is growing. So what happens is, and we know we do the same thing, and we laugh at that. You would rather go out and pay $200 or $300 for a pair of blue jeans than pay $30 for a pair of jeans.
Whoa, who do that?
Do you really think that people don't pay $300 for blue jeans? They do. And then they will even look at something like your home shopping network, they'll put them on the air and tell you, well, yes, this one has been designed for the particular body. If you have big hips, then that fits, and then it goes down. And if you happen to have very narrow hips and your day is big and big, we have blue jeans for you. Okay? And people do that. Okay? And you will see that people do this every day. We pay $300 and $400 for a pair of sneakers. Okay. But that's the American way. And the thing that's growing is our poor will do that. You know, I've never seen a poor community that did not have, let me see this store I'm talking about. You know the one that makes the sneakers? The one that Foot Locker. You find them all over the place. This Foot Locker should probably be on Market Street. It would surprise me one bit.
It is one.
Okay? And then there are about 5 sneaker places right around it. And Foot Locker stayed back. Okay? Now we laugh at them, but that's what we do. Okay? Now, but what we do is we have the efficiency, we have calculability. That is that they have figured out, and this is why I say you have to study economics. Okay? You'll see some people know that all you have to do is that pennies add up. Pennies add up. And so most of the time, all they're trying to do is calculate how many pennies are they going to make as a profit. Okay? Now, one of the reasons the supermarket can be cheaper is because the pennies add up. Okay? They can take a loss at point A and make it up on pennies at point B. One of the reasons that what is Walmart is so big and its capitalism at its best is because they count the pennies. You go and you pay cheaper. Walmart is it's cheaper. I've come to grips with that. Walmart is cheaper than a lot of places. It's cheaper. You buy your groceries at Walmart and get better prices. But what happens is, first of all, they don't probably pay their employees as much as other people pay them, so they save there. Okay? And secondly, they have a volume. They have volume. And volume makes the difference. And when you pay for that, you don't mind going to Walmart and knowing that you've got one item and you have to stand in line for 20 minutes.